Okay, in this section, we are really pulling everything we've done in this unit. So you're going to be asked to write equations of lines with different characteristics. So let's just see how this goes. In the following exercise, find the equation of a line with a given slope and y-intercept. Write the equation in slope-intercept form. Most common form we're going to use in here, y equals mx plus b. The other form, remember, is when it's in ax plus by equals c. Those are the two forms that are most common in here. So what do we got here? So y equals mx plus b, it's going to be y equals 8x plus a negative 6, so we'll just say minus 6. And that's it. Don't make that one harder than it is. Here, y equals, we know it's going to start off that way, mx, so it's a negative 4x plus 0. We don't usually write that, so we'll just leave it right there. Now I'm giving you the graph and asking you to write the equation in slope-intercept form. So the key here is to find the y-intercept, find the slope. So on 405, my y-intercept looks to be at 2. And the slope, thankfully, they've given me another point I can see. Slope's going to be going from 2 up to 5. So that's up 3 and then over 4. So that's a slope of rise over run. So slope is 3/4. So m of 3/4. The y-intercept is at 0, 2. So what's my equation going to be? Y equals 3/4 x plus 2. Now 409 is easy and hard. If you know how to do it, it's super easy. What kind of line is this? Good, horizontal line. So recall the equation of a horizontal line. Remember, it's just going to be y equals whatever that number is, 6. So y equals 6. The slope is 0, so there is no x term. That's just it. Okay, how about 425? So in the following exercises, find the equation of the line with a given slope and containing the given point. Write the equation in slope-intercept form at the end. Okay, so we have two different methods to do this. At least two, we're just going to do two. So one way is to use the y equals mx plus b to do all this. So I'm given a slope, m, and I'm given a point. Here's my x and here's my y. So I can plug that in, right? All I need to find is b. I'm not given a y-intercept. So the most famous wrong answer here would be y equals negative 4x minus 3. Don't do that, because the b has to be the y-intercept. I'm not given the y-intercept. So I have to find it. No worries. I've got 4 unknowns, but I've got 3 known values. So I can plug them in. So what I'm going to say, negative 3 equals m, which is negative 4, times negative 2, plus b. Just do my math. So I've got negative 3 equals negative 4 times negative 2. It's positive 8, plus b. Solving for b. I'm one step away. We'll subtract 8. So these cancel. Negative 3 minus 8 is negative 11. So b is a negative 11. So I'm not done. Recall, it's y equals mx plus b. So what's my equation going to be? Y equals m, which is negative 4, minus 11. Sorry, mx minus 11. We can check it. Does this point work when I plug that in? So let's do a little checkpoint here. Negative 3 equal to negative 4 times negative 2 minus 11. Is that a true statement? So negative 4 times negative 2 is 8. Is negative 3 equal to 8 minus 11? It is. So I'm pretty confident I'm right because I've got the slope and my point checks out. Okay, 429. So find the equation of a line through 2 points. So if I could give a final exam, this would be one of the questions on there. I'd have maybe 10 questions. This would be on there. It is really important when you leave this class that you can write the equation of a line through 2 points. So what do you need to write the equation of a line? Short checklist. I need to have a point, and I need to have a slope. Am I given a point? I'm given 2, and I can use either point. Am I given a slope? Nope, but I can find this slope, can't I? I've got a slope formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And so I'm just going to label my points x1, y1, x2, y2. And then plug them straight in. So I'm going to have 5 minus 1 over 2 minus 3. So what's this going to be? 4 over negative 1, which is negative 4. So my slope is negative 4. Now I'm going to do pretty much what I did in the previous problem. I'm not going to do this problem, so this does not work for that one. So y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to plug in either point. Let's just choose this first one, 3, 1. So 1 equals negative 4 times x, which is 3, plus b. And then solve for b. Add 8 to both sides. Sorry, add 7 to both sides. I was kind of forecasting what the answer was. So b equals 1 plus 7, which is 8. So we got a lot of stuff here. Make sure we kind of bring it back. What are we trying to find? Recall, we're trying to find the equation of the line in y equals mx plus b form. So now what can I do? Y equals m, which is negative 4, x plus 8. And you can check this. You can plug both of these points into the equation. If they both work, you know you're right. I'll get you started on these two. I'm not going to finish them up. Get you started. So write the equation of a line that's parallel to this line and contains this point. Okay, so what are the two things we need to write the equation of a line? So short checklist, I need to have a slope and I need to have a point. Am I given the slope? Not explicitly, but what do I know about lines that are parallel and their slopes? Good, they're the same. So what's the slope of this line? Slope of this line is 3, so I know the slope of my line is also 3. Now am I given a point? I am given a point. Here's my point, 2, 5. So now I can use my y equals mx plus b. Plug in my point, my x and y, plug in your slope, and find b. Now recall the other way that I said we could do these is y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Some students really like this formula, and it's fine. I used to gravitate toward it, but this one here works just as well. It's one less formula I gotta kind of have to have in my head. So if you want to use point slope, that's fine too. You plug in the point, plug in the slope, and solve. Again, I'm gonna let you finish that out. It's just like the last one we did. And similar on this one. Now write the equation of a line that's perpendicular to this line. So again, my short checklist, I need a slope, and I need a point. Am I given a slope? Again, no. But what do I know? My line is perpendicular to that line. And what do I know about lines that are perpendicular and their slopes? Good. I flip it and change the sign. So they're negative reciprocals is the fancy math word there. So the slope of this line is 2/3. So I'll call this line 1. If this is line 1, what's the slope of my line going to be? We'll call that line 2. So my line's going to have a slope of negative 3/2. It's the negative reciprocal of 2/3. So my slope is negative 3/2. And then I can use that point at 2, negative 4. Because once you get a point and a slope, you should be in a little better position. They've kind of cloaked it a little bit with these last two problems. You were kind of one step away. They sort of shaded one of the values. They shaded the slope in this case. All right, so I hope that helps.